Should be
Welcome
good.
to the Reseller Island podcast. My name is Jake. I go by J Ride Flips, and we are joined by my two co-hosts. We'll start below me today,
Keith, Vintage Sport Flips. How's it going?
and to the side of me.
What's up, y'all? Shane here, Soda City Flips.
Awesome. Welcome to the island, guys. We just want to talk about our reselling week, and hopefully we can be some good background noise to you guys while you're out working. But how reselling go for you guys today, this week?
Uh, Pretty strong. I mean, eBay's picking up a little bit for me and had some nice higher dollar sales, which is always nice to have those come in. And pretty good live streaming. I'm going to get a little bit more into it next week. I'm working a lot this week, but I'll probably stream every day next week. That's my
Wow.
aim. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
How about you,
man,
Shane?
I'm looking at my last 7 days. And this is what's funny. I recorded my last video. Well, the video I dropped on Friday was a almost like a woe is me. eBay is terrible
Yeah,
for
you
me
went
right
emo,
now,
dude.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
and it's hard not to get in your feelings, into your own headspace like that with negative
Yeah.
thoughts. But um, I was like down and out because sales were trash. I mean, absolutely trash for the 2 weeks leading up to that video. Um, and then all of a sudden, like eBay kicked off, and I've my 7 day totals probably less than you guys, but for me, this is huge. $1,433.30.
There you
Um,
go.
Yeah.
which is great for me. But yeah, the 2 weeks leading up to that, it was like a $200 week and a $300 week, and
Yeah.
finally things are kicking back off. So far today, I got a big fat goose egg, but it's still fairly early. Yesterday was a nice $300 day, so $400 day the couple days before that. Like it's been finally kicking back off. And yeah, like you, Keith, I'm looking forward to getting back into some live sales. I've been picking up things here and there just to kind of curate a randomness kind of show.
Yeah.
Um, Picked up something cool that I think I'm going to run on First Class Treasures today at the golf course. I went and
Wow.
played 9 holes as a little treat to myself for having such a good week. And um, they have lost and found,
Yeah.
and you can claim anything out of there that you want before they sell it. And I found this
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh,
Jordan
wow. That's
Goat
awesome.
putter cover.
Yeah, I have a
I was like,
Cleveland.
man,
I have a Cleveland putter that might fit perfect, so I might have to bid on that.
it's pretty
Yeah.
well made too. Like there's no brand on it, but man, it's
Yeah.
super, super nice. Magnetic. It's just like mine. Mine says goat on it too, and it's got tiger with tiger stripes and stuff. But mine's
Mhm.
made by Goated Golf. This one is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it
You s-
is, it was like a prototype before they actually branded their stuff. But
It looks really nice, but it probably came from AliExpress or Alibaba.
maybe. I mean, it's well made. That's all I know.
They have like 1-to-1 copies of Scotty Cameron putter covers on Alibaba. Like it's
Oh,
insane
wow.
Yeah.
because Scotty Cameron, a lot of their manufacturers are obviously in China. We'll see what happens with the 104% tariff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So like Alibaba, they already make it for these companies, and they'll just like, oh yeah, well. So I actually got in the. I didn't know this when I first started my reselling business, but I found out that you could make pit vipers on Alibaba, like that look exactly like pit vipers. It even says
Ah.
pit vipers on the side. And so I'm like, okay, and I made 10 of them, and they were like $6 each. And then I started selling them on eBay, and I sold one of them for $80. And then eBay's like, hey, these aren't authentic pit vipers. Take these down. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry. And like, dude, like that's like a really big issue. Like, I'm an idiot for even like doing that in the first place. But I didn't realize like, oh yeah, I'm definitely cheating out pit
Yeah. I'm
vipers.
surprised the company. I'm surprised
Probably
they would
shouldn't do
actually use the name.
that.
Yeah. Well, at least Shane sourced that properly. I didn't know you could just. I didn't know they didn't sell the stuff. That's.
Yeah.
It's not like take an item, leave an item. It's just whatever's there is up for grabs, I guess,
Yeah,
which is cool.
so they have their lost and found kind of section. It's out. So whenever you drive the golf cart back after your round, that's where they clean them. Everything that people leave in there, they just put in this container and
Okay.
grab whatever you want. Um, so I grabbed that. But if it sits in there, that day, if nobody claims anything, then they put it inside the pro shop and they sell everything used. And putter covers are $3. if you buy them used from them. And you know how many Scotty Camerons I find and sell out of there for $3, and I sell them for 30, 40. I think I got 65 for one of them one time because it was like this crazy special one. Last time I played golf with Evan, we just happened to run into each other on the course, and he was behind me, and he comes up, he pulls up next to me at the tee box on hole 17, and we finished playing together. But he's like, "Would you leave this in there for?" Because he knows I always, his first thing I do is go straight to the used clubs and covers, and he's like, "Why'd you leave this in there?" I was like, "Dude, I didn't even look at the head covers today. I just looked at clubs and grabbed what I wanted." But yeah, so he found a nice one. But there's a course about 30 minutes south of me going towards Charleston, South Carolina. They don't charge for anything. They don't even have like a used club section. And I asked them, I was like, "Do you guys sell used clubs?" And they're like, "No, everything's in." Again, where you take the carts in after your round, they have like this big covered warehouse almost looking building, and you drive them in there. And she said, when you walk in, turn to the left. Man, they had those 50-gallon like brute garbage containers full of clubs, clothes, because people take their quarter zips off when it warms up and
Yep.
stuff. Man, I've got so many like Callaway quarter zips and golf clubs and head covers and all kinds of stuff. People live in there, and they don't charge anything. You just take what you want.
I don't golf at all, but I might pick it up just for the sourcing over there with the free clubs. And
Seriously.
Man, every round of golf I play is covered by the clubs and stuff I sell because I sell
Nice.
them weekly.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's why I treated myself to 9 holes. I was like, I can't get 18 in because we got to record the podcast, but I can get 9 in this morning and
Yeah.
get back in time. So I did.
Well, it is the first lawn mowing day of the season at my townhouse complex, so hopefully you guys aren't hearing the weed whacker too bad in the background.
I just
Slight, not too bad.
mowed my lawn for the first time this past weekend.
Nice. Well,
Looks
last year it
good out
was
there.
every Wednesday. I'm hoping that they didn't switch it to Thursday this year because that would suck for the podcast. But
It's not too. I mean, you can barely
I
hear
can
it.
hear
on
it, but
our-
barely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's pretty quiet.
Well, I'm looking at my sales chart here. It's kind of funny. So today, it's we record this at 2 p.m. Eastern, noon mine time. So I'm at $226 today, and then I had a $500 day yesterday, a $1,000 day the day before, and then two $500 days before that. So my last 5 days, it literally looks like like a hand flipping me off because it's got the small pinky, then and then the knuckle, and then the $1,000 day. It's funny. I'm gonna have to take a picture and post it.
That is funny.
Good stuff.
That's the kind of days I need, man.
Yeah. Not yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so these last, I was watching Graham and Pop's video, and they're saying they're at their worst 90-day total in the last like 2 or 3 years, and I'm actually at my worst 90-day total for the last 2 or 3 years as well.
I'm hearing that from a lot of people.
Yeah, and honestly, like I don't like blame that on eBay whatsoever. It's just literally like my items. When I have 100% sell-through rate items, I have a 70,000 day 90 total. When I only have a 40% sell-through rate store like I do right now, I'm at just over 40,000 for my 90-day total. So, but with yard sale season coming up and everything, I'm gonna get my store back to probably I'm shooting for an 80% sell-through rate store every 90 days. So I
Nice.
want to have 2,500 items and sell like, what is that, 2150 every 90 days. Something
Wow,
like that.
that's a nice turnover.
Yeah.
Dude, if I could find cameras like I found yesterday all the time,
Dude, well, I
I'd be in
actually
heaven.
just barely got a text while we were on this that said, "Hey, I just got 1,000 cameras from a e-waste supplier. I'm looking to move them in bulk." So
There you go.
Wow.
I'll have to talk to my contact right after the show about that.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be a killer pickup. Even there's going to be a lot for parts, but
Oh yeah.
even then it's going to be worth it. In the Goodwill I was at yesterday had 2 other cameras. One was complete junk. They wanted $9 for these other 2, and they were little point and shoots. One of them was unbranded little junk camera, and the other one was a Fuji film fine pix something or another, and it's about a $30 camera working, but this one I would have had to get a charger for because I looked at the battery with it, and my little universal one wouldn't cover this one. So I passed on that one because I wasn't sure if it worked. But the one I got for $5, actually it was 6, was the best of the three. It was a Nikon Coolpix B500 with all the stuff it came with: the Nikon bag, the strap, the memory card, everything, the lens cap, the body cover, all this stuff. And it didn't have a price on it, and they gave me a price of $6. And I'm thinking to myself, these other ones are garbage compared to this one, and you're giving me a heck of a deal.
That
So
would
I
go sometimes.
obviously I couldn't get that one out of the case quick enough, because it's a $150 camera. I listed it and it sold within like 2 hours for
Yeah.
full asking price.
Yeah, no,
So
me and
that was
Shane
amazing.
sell the cameras, and then Keith sells the photos taken
Yep.
by the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I mentioned this to Jake backstage before we started, Shane, but I picked this up at a flea market this morning. It's a one thing I talked about on the member video, the photograph identification video.
Dugera.
Daguerreotype. Yeah, you can see that
Okay.
the reflective. Yeah, it's a DAG or daguerreotype. So that's my first fixed price listing or static listing over on First Class Treasures. Just
There you go.
dropped that right before the show. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You said Dugera?
daguerreotype. Yeah, or some people
Daguerreau.
call it short DAG, DAG, DAG.
Okay.
If you're cool with antique photos, you can say DAG. But
I'm
Well,
not cool enough for DAG yet.
Yeah.
I can't even remember how to pronounce the correct word.
I'm noticing on First Class Treasures, we're averaging about 1 or 2 static sales per day, mostly coming from like Google and stuff. But then on the days that I drop videos where I mention First Class Treasures, we get like a nice little spike in
nice.
static
Oh,
listings.
that's awesome.
So yeah, I'll have to, not only post videos so I can make money from the content, but also to support all of my sellers. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys need me to put more videos up because we get triple or quadruple the static sales every time I post a video. So I gotta do it.
Well, and I kind of thought that with my video on Friday, my little woe is me video. I woke up because that video posted. I went to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up, and the video went live at 9 a.m. to non-channel members. Channel members could already view it, but I figured nobody was up watching at 2 in the morning. But all of a sudden, I had a $263 day, and I was like, man, please tell me I didn't get all these viewer sales, because I would have felt bad, because that's not what I was trying to do. And I did have two sales that went to Matt Flips, our buddy, good buddy, Matt Profits Pursuit back in the day. He's now Matt Flips, but he did go in and buy 2 hats. But other than that, it was not viewer sales. But it's just funny because that was my initial thought, was like, I just got a boost in sales because people feel bad for me. But it turned out to not be that.
You don't want to pull a full 1 foot flipper, just
Yeah.
like a half 1 foot flipper. Just kidding.
I will admit, Shane, I had the your Chicken Ranch shirt in my cart. I was like so close. I'm like, I miss Mrs. Flips. I have a few offensive shirts like that are like, I just found this awesome single stitch like Philadelphia area like strip club shirt. It's like not something for I could wear out in public too often. Depends where I'm going, but she hates when I wear it. But I figured that would be similar if I picked up that shirt of yours, but I still almost bought it.
Maybe even worse, because I think it says the best little H house or WH house.
It does.
In town or something in Vegas. So it's,
yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Jake, but there's a couple of vintage Lady of the Night Houses shirts that I have that I bought from Archie actually on First Class Treasures. And I've got them listed. I think one's 150, the other one's like 90. But yeah,
the one was cool. It just had like a half of a chicken egg with like a leg sticking out of it. I just love the graphic of it. But yeah, it might,
My whole life, whenever I see a kid underneath the age of 7, I always say, "Guess what?" And then when they say what, I say "chicken butt."
Chicken butt.
I think, or I'll tap them on the shoulder away from me and make them look, or I'll flick them.
Yeah.
So my senior year of high school, my cousins for my graduation got me a "Guess what?" chicken butt shirt.
Nice.
Good old chicken butt. Dude, I love to like say with my little cousins, I'd say "guess what?" and they'd say "chicken butt," and I'd say "guess who?" They'd say "chicken poo," and then I'd say "guess it," and I'd be like, and they go, "Oh, I can't say that."
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's good.
Stuff.
Yeah, my last two videos have brought me over 100 subs, so that's cool.
There you go. All you gotta
That's
do is be
awesome.
negative, dude. That's all you
Hey,
have to do.
that's my first over $20 video.
Oh,
Oh,
sick.
nice, nice.
Yeah, so and then the short I put out with those John Lobb shoes is now at 22,000 views. So I mean that's only like $1.50 maybe, but because it's a short, but it's still cool to see some of my videos are doing pretty well. Like those my last two long form videos both have like 2,300 views, 2,500, something like that. So I'm used to getting anywhere between 250 and 500. So super
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, definitely nice growth over there for sure.
Well, what's
Yeah.
really nice on YouTube lately for me, and maybe this is because I'm actually posting long form videos every once in a while again. Like I'm back to doing like 3 a month. Hopefully, I'm hoping to get to, 2 per week, maybe even 3 per week, but we'll see. But now my shorts that I posted hundreds of days ago are starting to take off. So I
Oh
had,
wow.
Nice.
yeah, so I have this video here. It's that little Gary V one. It initially got 7,000 views, and then on a day 70, it took off to about 13,000, so it doubled, 14,000 on day 130, and then all of a sudden on day 100, on day 470, it hit 18,000, and then 7 days after that, it's up all the way up to 32,000. So
Oh,
it's
That's
just
wow.
like,
crazy.
so it's just like really taken off, and it's done that on 4 of my shorts.
That's
On
crazy.
one
You
of
said
them,
400 and something days. That's like a year and a half, man.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
so
No,
wild.
this one has been posted for. Let me see. I just clicked away from it. This Goodwill thrift store darkest secrets. Gotta love the titles.
Yeah.
This one immediately went to 48,000 views in the first 20 days, and then it just plateaued. And now in the last 9 days, it has gotten 120,000 views additional. So,
Are
yeah,
your
those shorts, they're just
yeah,
taking off. It's been up for 200 days.
your shorts, are you going, I know it's not necessarily reselling topics, but it's still YouTube is fun to talk about. Are you keeping under a minute or yours up to the 3 minutes now?
So they're all, it's everything that I post on TikTok. I
Okay.
post it to Instagram and YouTube as well. So they're all like a minute and 15 seconds, minute
Okay,
and
so a little
8
bit over.
seconds, things
So I know
like that.
TikTok prefers over a minute, right? They like it for the algorithm maybe or
Yeah, for every million views, if my video is under 1 minute, I get paid $40 on TikTok. But
okay.
for every 1 million views that is over a minute on TikTok, I get paid $1,400. So
Okay.
they definitely want the longer form for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, for me, editing shorts for YouTube, it's a lot. If it's a picking short that I do more of, they're tricky to pack into 60 seconds and under. Back when YouTube
Yeah.
was limiting in there, now with 3 minutes, I can do a lot more. Sort of tell more of the story with a short than I could in the past.
But on Instagram and YouTube, typically the shorter the better. Like I think they want it to be at least 10 seconds,
Okay.
but like I find it like 15 seconds to 30 seconds is my best for Facebook and Instagram.
Huh.
And
Interesting.
yeah, I haven't really done much data scraping on YouTube, but for shorts, but over a minute on TikTok and then under 30 seconds on Facebook. And actually, I was just watching Mr. Beast had an interview with Mark Zuckerberg, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, the only way that I go viral for me, because viral for him is like he averages like 60 million views per short,
Yeah.
but he's like, no, we just had one go, it got like 2.1 billion views, and it's because he didn't talk in it." And then Mark Zuckerberg's like, "Oh yeah, no, we have 3 billion users, and less than half a billion speak English." So it's like, so if you have a video
Oh,
that has no English words on it, it's going to go to the whole platform, not just American and English
interesting.
speaking
Oh
people.
wow. Yeah, that's
So
cool.
yeah, because Mr. Beast, he was saying he posted the exact same. You guys have probably seen the video. It just shows him holding $10,000 and sprinting as fast as he can, and then it shows him holding 20,000 and sprinting, 50,000 and sprinting, and
Hmm.
he put
Huh.
in English running with 10,000 and then 20,000, and he got like 60 million views. And then he just took all of the English words out of it and didn't speak and just put 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, and it got over 2 billion. So
Jesus,
That's
that's
nuts.
wild.
and dude,
That's
he's probably making, let's see how much he made off that. He's
I
probably
just hit
making 40 cents.
200 and I just hit 250,000 views on YouTube today, and I'm thrilled. 'Cause I couldn't
Nice.
imagine getting 2 billion on one video. That's insane to me.
So
Yeah.
he made $800,000 off of that
Oh my
2
God.
billion view video.
Phew.
Wow.
If he made about 40 cents per 1,000 views, which he probably makes like 85 cents per 1,000 views, but once it gets pushed out to like the Philippines and China, that drops significantly because they have to put different ads. So like I have some friends that they finally went viral on TikTok the other day, but they got like a 2 million view video, but they said that 800,000 of the views were from the Philippines for some reason. So even their minute long video, they only got paid like 17 cents every 1,000 views, where I typically get paid like $1.20 every 1,000 views because my audience is the consumers of America. So
I did my little funny shark video on TikTok did, I think, 500,000.
yeah, that probably would have got you about 85 to 115 cents per 1,000 views. But
Yeah.
you don't have 10,000 followers, so
Yep. I probably should do more with TikTok, but I haven't even tried to grow
you're
that
telling
thing.
me, dude. I make so much money through TikTok. Like I really do. Like humbly, like it's a ton of money. And I haven't. I've put up 3 TikToks in the last 30 days. It's like, what am I doing? Why am I not posting everything? You know, because
Every single day.
dude, I'm stupid, man. But I'm starting to feel like so much better. I'm
Oh, good.
super pumped.
That's
So
good.
like
Awesome.
yeah, like I'm like motivated to make videos and stuff again. So I had a video just drop on J Ride Flips this morning. It's a 4 out of 10, pretty good. And then I have a video dropping on J Ride Picks featuring Keith, hopefully tomorrow. So that'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched your Flips channel or Flips video today
Yeah,
while
where
I
I
was
would
on
Yeah.
the
like the 22
golf course.
minutes where I
Yeah,
just
while
went to
you
a
were
bunch of stores.
bunch of thrift stores. Yep.
Yeah.
Shane, you should definitely watch the J Ride Picks one tomorrow because I think there's one thing in there that I sent to him that I think you would like if he runs them on First Class Treasures. Those the one set of cards in there. They were horse related cards.
Oh yeah.
Did you see? Yeah, they're pretty
The
cool.
cigarette cards.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I could
Yeah,
put them in my binder next to my famous ladies or whatever they were called.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, those cigarette cards are cool, man.
They're
Like
very cool.
I mean, tobacco's already addicting enough, and then you make it collectible. Like,
Oh
geez,
yeah.
like, just imagine,
And they
dude.
make cards for everything. Back like I sold last night on Dibda Cards like a stack of like 1920s first aid cards, and there was some stopping somebody's bleeding nose and like random like for just they make cards of everything back then. So anything to help. It was really pushing it to kids more, right? Which is why
Yeah,
some of those
which is why
baseball
they made it
players.
illegal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
wild.
That's
nuts.
cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I just keep selling really random stuff on Poshmark every week. Just sold a Microsoft keyboard right before we hopped on the podcast today on Poshmark. It's
Oh, nice.
weird stuff.
Yeah, not something you would think would sell over there, right?
If it's under 5 pounds, it's going over there. And honest, so I talk about this in an upcoming video. I'm gonna do a what sold video, a traditional what sold video again coming up soon. It's just my wife has been waking up at 4:45 in the morning every morning because she's insane. And so she already has shipping and everything done by the time I wake up at 6:30.
Oh
So I
wow,
haven't been able to
that's the
record.
life. There we go.
But
Yeah.
now she just started training someone at 5 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So she goes to the gym at 5 and then doesn't get back till like 7. So on those days I'll wake up and record the things that we sold
Nice.
and then start doing hopefully those once a week or so.
Yeah, I'm jealous of YouTubers like you, Jake, doing that. And Shane, that's pretty much what you do, right? They're like what sold videos, but you work in a topic.
Yeah.
And like
Yep.
all my videos, when I'm creating content, I'm spending money to create that content, like out of the
Yeah.
flea market, right? But you're making money and you're making videos and making money on the videos. So that's I love that aspect when you can grow your audience without having to go out and spend money like I am. And
I mean, we're still spinning it, just we're not showing it, I guess.
yeah, no, but
And
yeah, you could do
I used to do
yeah.
that, but I asked my viewers what they preferred, and they're more interested in seeing what's actually selling than what you're
Yeah.
picking up, is what they
But
told me. So
that's what they tell you. But when you actually post live thrifting and yard selling, that stuff just gets more attention. So
yeah,
it's like surveys and stuff. I love surveys. I love data. But like humans don't actually know what they want. Like I was talking about this with Scott the other day, the red picker. He's starting to do a YouTube channel, and like people like say dumb stuff, and so like this podcast, for example, some people are already starting to say, "Oh my gosh, Jake talks like way too much," and it's like I'm like, silence kills podcasts. Like you don't
Yeah.
actually know what you want. Like if all three of us spoke 1/3 each, exactly the same, there would be dead air and it would be a little bit awkward,
Yeah.
and people would click away during the like. It's you just click away when you hear silence, and so it's like you don't actually know what you want. If if we didn't talk over each other, you would stop watching the podcast. It's weird how that
Yeah.
works out.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
people are like, "Oh, we want the what sold videos," and you should definitely keep doing them because they're good. But you'll notice typically you'll get more views when you actually go thrifting than
Yeah,
selling items.
and that's something I want to get back into. Matter of fact, our friend Anthony asked me if I would sell him my GoPro, and I was like, "Nah, dude. I know I haven't put out a video of me sourcing in a while, but I plan to keep doing that. This year because it has been a while, and I enjoy doing it, especially at yard sales.
Yeah.
Um, and yard sales kicking off for everybody now. So he's like, "Yeah, I guess you're right." So sorry,
But
Anthony. Love you,
but I saw
brother.
you
I
did
hate
your shoe video was like you filmed maybe with a phone or something, right? You
yeah.
had that was a short similar.
Yeah, that was real quick. I didn't know what I was
Yeah.
looking at either, but I always look at dress shoes because I like to look for Allen Edmonds and other brands. So I always look, and I saw a name I'd never heard of, John Lobb. I'm like, what is this? Let me look it up, and I get on eBay, and the first thing I see is like a page full of uh $4 and $5 and $6 and $900 shoes, used, and I'm like, there's no way these shoes are selling for that much. So I go to Solds, and sure enough, anywhere from $350 to $900 for used dress shoes. And I was like, all right, that's a
That's wild.
bolo.
Dude.
So I put them back on the shelf, pulled the camera out, and walked up to them and recorded that little 15-second video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people love it. There, one guy's like, the trolls are out. They're like, nobody wants them beat up looking. And I'm like, dude, these shoes are in excellent condition. Like, they're super nice. I cleaned them up, little Doc Martens Wonder Balsam, and I got them listed for $499.99. I got tons of views and a bunch of watchers on them. So I'll probably give it a week or two and then start sending out some offers if nobody pulls the triggers yet.
Yeah.
So,
Nice. By the
Dude,
way,
Shane, when
I had
this drops,
Go
go ahead.
no, you guys, Jake.
Shane,
for
when
it.
this drops, you're gonna have to watch this episode and then immediately watch the episode with Corey. Because you weren't like depressed or anything, but like this episode, you're so much more lively and talkative. And last
yeah,
episode, you were just like
that
quiet
was
and
that was
reserved.
a rough week, man. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
I
sense.
hate that that come through the camera like that, but I was
Well, so
trying
it
not to.
didn't come through the camera last week, but just seeing you in comparison this week, it's
Yeah,
noticeable for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was I had the Rat Picker Scott on my live last night
Oh yeah.
on my YouTube channel. He's awesome. I
yeah,
mean,
he's a fun
great
dude.
talker. Yeah, his channel is gonna be great. I know it's new and he's putting out a lot of content for like a month maybe or however long he's been on, but
Mhm.
it's he's gonna do really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
You just actually got to make titles, Scott. You can't put
Yeah,
April 29th, 2025. It's going to get 0 clicks, man.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, titling. Yeah, I did notice that.
nobody's searching that date.
I feel it's
Yeah.
like his channel is like ADH Dave while driving. It's like,
Yeah.
he's talking about a wasp in the truck and like he's talking about reselling and like pretty motivational stuff. Some of it, like
Yeah.
but then he's distracted by a wasp. So it's pretty
Yeah.
ADH Dave-esque.
And then he'll start talking about how he can take anyone on one-on-one in basketball. And then he'll talk about how much he hates the Buckeyes. And then he'll
Yeah.
say, I grew up in Michigan, but I live in Tennessee now. Anyways, we were talking about sell-through rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yeah, he's also fun to be in a live show when he's running live
yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
So
I love it
enjoy
when he's like
watching him.
selling stuff, and then all of a sudden he'll like flip the camera and be like, "Listen, guys," and he'll like flip it back on the item.
Yeah.
Good old Scott.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
that was a great episode last week with Corey. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize how impressive Corey and Teresa really are as far as businessmen and women. Um, they have their hands in quite a lot of different things. Like he didn't even talk about his axe throwing business or
Or
his
escape
escape
room.
room. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's two more things they got going for them. And I think it's like a little mini bar or something there too. They own, like, so they sell beer and stuff on the side as well. But yeah, they're an impressive couple, man. I've been feeding off of them for information just as much as I do off of Jake and Paige and Dave and Kevin and all the rest of them. Um, they're just amazing people. Very impressive couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was super impressed. I hadn't talked to him, one on one on this kind of avenue. I just in chat rooms and stuff, and you can't get to know someone that way. And
Yeah.
I used to watch his podcast. Oh, I still watch his podcast, but I didn't get a chance to watch his regular channel all the time. But I got to start checking it out because he's an impressive dude for sure, and I'm sure they both are.
Yeah.
Well,
They have a pretty good channel. It's growing fast too. Like for a what sold channel, because that's the videos they do, it's growing fast.
Nice.
well, guys, we released our last week's episode podcast a little late, so we actually ended up releasing it Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I love talking in this weird podcast realm of reality.
Yeah.
But so it's been a full 24 hours since we released that episode, and Shane said he was going to give something away, and
Yep.
you had to comment below "Shane sucks," which kind of threw Keith for a loop for a second, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, I saw all these Shane sucks. I'm like, what are they talking about? What did Shane say? Yeah, it threw me off. Then I realized.
So I went ahead and I did the random simulator, and what are we giving away again? Free month of...
My reseller Genie IKEA bag.
Oh, an IKEA bag. Okay.
Yeah, I can.
So we're giving that away, and I ran the results. I think like 17 of you guys entered in the first 24 hours, and the winner is Palika Sales.
Oh, nice.
All right, very nice. Recognize that name from District,
There it
right?
is.
Yep.
District buyer.
This is a giant bag, man.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so he buys and sells a lot on DivDit, First Class Treasures, and stuff. So Shane, maybe you'll just have to wait until he buys something from your show, and then you can
I'll tell him you're not getting this until.
Yeah.
I do that. I do that with Sean a lot of times. Accidentally, our buddy, Real Life Perspective show. I always have stuff that I find or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to give that to Sean. Like I had this Howard the Duck VHS tape, and I was like, Sean would love this. He does his whole channels around nostalgia and stuff, 80s and 90s. So I'm going to send it to him, and I always forget, and then he'll buy something from me on.
It's a perfect time to send it with him.
Over on District, or he even won an auction of mine on eBay this week. But like, I'm like, oh yeah, let me throw that Howard the Duck VHS in with it. So I do that all the time. I'm like super bad about remembering when I tell somebody, oh, I got this thing, I want to send it to you, and then I forget for like a month, and then I remember all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, I can throw that in the package, so it works out.
I did the same exact thing for him this week. He won my giveaway in the podcast last week. He bought a few cards from me on DibDit Cards, and I bought him 2 He-Man packs at a non-sports card show this weekend. So they all shipped together. I guess he paid for shipping with DibDit. So
and it was a Pipe Dreamer who won your shirt the other day, right?
Yeah, Pipe Dreamer. Yeah.
So
it went to a great buyer.
I probably should have recorded it. You guys might think I'm actually lying, but who cares? So when I did the random generator thing, you can just type into Google random generator and then have it scrape your YouTube comments. It did like that super fast click and then like the slow click, slower, and then ended. So I thought it had ended on Pipe Dreamer.
Oh,
like, wow, this is a lucky dude. And then it just clicked that one last time.
Oh,
wow.
Sales, so.
Yeah,
Well, that was a good week, getting a $125 shirt plus the IKEA bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I like both those guys though. So happy Anthony won it.
Yeah.
All right, I brought a topic up on my podcast last night, and I've had this happen a few times, but have any of you guys in your reselling journey ever sold to a celebrity or like saw a celebrity address? You have, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah, I've sold a few times. It says like Hollywood Studios and like things like that. And then one of them, I sold a Walkman, and the account said Seinfeld Studios. And I'm like,
Oh wow.
they're not shooting that anymore. I wonder if they're, maybe doing some sort of like revamp or commercial or something. But I'm not sure if it actually, if that might have just been someone's handle or whatever. But it was in Hollywood and stuff too. So
Ah, very
Yeah,
cool.
that
Yeah.
the closest I've ever been is selling something to Universal Studios. I
yeah,
sold an
Yeah.
old radio, like CD tape deck with the speakers, hold it up on your shoulder. Sold one of those for
dude.
$100 to Universal Studios.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm
I asked
embarrassed.
them. I asked them if they could let me know what TV show or movie so I could look out for it. They never responded.
I'm
It's
embarrassed
like
that I can't remember this museum. Start naming like the most famous museums in the world.
the
Smithsonian.
look.
Smithsonian. There you go. My dad got this like silver bracelet that I guess is from like the 1800s, and it's like really high quality. And I think he sold it for $1,400 to the Smithsonian Museum, which
Cool.
is
Oh, that's
just
cool.
so sweet.
Very cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they reached out to him and everything. They're like, yeah, this is gonna be placed behind glass in our museum. Like, thank you so much. Please send it as soon as you can. It's like, wow, that's sweet.
Well,
I had
I heard
yeah.
Keith's story
Yeah.
last night, but maybe now you'll be able to get into a little more detail too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I just briefly touched on it last night, but yeah, I
yeah,
had somebody bought a vintage Flyers glass. Not a super exciting sale. It was like a $20 glass, but I looked at the address, and this is like my favorite person in the world, tied with my son, Mrs. Flips, three, distant three. Sorry to my wife for that, but Jason Kelsey, like
Oh
the
yeah,
Eagles,
that's sweet.
legendary Eagles center. He bought the glass, and he lives like a town over. And I sent this letter in there because I not to brag, but I might have like the largest Eagles collection in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
I have like, I don't know, 1,500 square feet of memorabilia from the 30s on. So I sent him pictures of it, sent a letter. I'm like, hey, why don't you come over to look at the collection someday? So I'm sure that's not going to happen.
That would be an
But
insane YouTube video right there.
yeah,
yeah,
that'd
it
be
would.
fun. Yeah,
And I'm
I've always
sure he'd
avoided.
be cool with you recording it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've always avoided showing my collection mostly on YouTube. I at some point I will, but I'll show parts of it, and I've been interviewed about it on a different channel. But I definitely would shoot it if Jason Kelsey came over.
Oh yeah,
So
dude.
yeah, that would be awesome. But I had a couple others over the years. I had Steve Tisch, who owns the New York Giants, partial owner of the New York Giants. He bought a pretty expensive football from me. He's also the producer for Forrest Gump, so pretty big in Hollywood too.
Was
And I
he owner back in say '08? Do you know?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's been the owner for
Because
a long time.
I met one of the owners, and I don't know if it's him. Maybe if I saw him, but you guys know I used to build cell phone towers, and we put antennas inside the stadium, and right in front of the presidential suite or whatever. And he was not happy with where the antennas were hanging, but that's where AT&T told us to put them. He came out and he's like, guys, can you please move them? This is my view, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to do whatever the man asked us to do.
Yeah.
So we did. And then he gave us season tickets. It was
Oh
amazing.
wow, that's
Uh,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
there's
my
two
dad.
owners.
My
Good.
dad, growing up, he said that he actually mowed John Elway's lawn every week,
Oh wow.
and he said that he would pay in cash every week because he's like, if I sign a check, it'll be worth more. Sorry, buddy.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
That's funny.
Uh-huh.
that's funny.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good
I mean the
stuff.
other owner, Shane, is John Mara, who's like Rooney Mara, the actor, the two actresses, Rooney Mara and who's in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's his
Oh,
daughter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
So I don't
like
know
her.
which. Yeah, she's great, but I don't know which one of the owners is. But I Google mapped his house, Steve Tisch. This is like a compound, like three tennis courts. It was in Beverly Hills. It was a nice spread. This ball went to. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That's dope.
yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah, not too often that sales like that happen, but like when you're watching what's it called? Stranger Things, and she's like listening to that song on the Walkman. Like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
they definitely probably bought that Walkman
Oh
off
yeah,
Oh,
of eBay.
yeah.
that's what speaking of Stranger Things and Sean, when I sold that stereo to Universal Studios, I was like, man, I hope I see this thing in Stranger Things because I'm such a huge fan
Yeah.
of that show. And I was like, how cool would that be to see it in one of the shows that I really enjoy watching, But
Do you
they
have any
never
information on that?
got
Like,
back to me.
I don't know if it's like coming out this October or next October. Do you know
I
season 5's
I
coming out?
heard it's 2025, but I haven't seen in a while an actual release date. I'm going to Google it right now.
I feel like it changes every weekend. It's like, oh, October 2025. Just kidding. February 2026. I even heard October 2024 at one point. But
Hmm. While you're
Yeah, it
looking it up,
just
Shane.
says set to be released in 2025. They've
Oh,
okay.
wrapped it up, but doesn't say when.
It'll be interesting to see if they can keep the kids looking young because
Oh, I know.
they had that like COVID plus the AI hiatus, so they like couldn't film for a while. And
Yep.
now they're like all 11-year-olds, and now they're like 22 years old. It's like, what
yeah.
happened?
I know it's
I mean,
crazy.
I love that
Yeah,
show. That'd be. I can't wait for it to come back.
The
yeah, maybe.
80s was known for doing that too. You'd see like some of these kids, like say Karate Kid, for instance. You look at some of the kids in that show, and you're like, "There's no way this dude's 16 years old." You know,
Yeah.
he's pushing 30 in
Well,
real
so
life.
Zac
Like,
Efron, when he played a 17-year-old basketball player in High School Musical, I think he was like 27
yeah,
when he shot that. So
yep,
Yeah,
just
it's
make him look
crazy.
young.
I think
But,
the different strokes. Gary Coleman, he was like
Gary
a
Coleman, yeah,
30-year-old playing like a teenager in that show.
yeah. I used to
I mean,
love that show when I was a
like
kid.
Yeah, me
like
too.
I mean, I look pretty young for my age. I think with professional makeup and CGI, I could play a 15-year-old. I don't
Right?
know.
I could.
I
Especially when I
Yeah,
couldn't.
shave my face. My
I
wife
can't.
doesn't let me shave my face because she says I look like I'm 12. So I got to keep at least a little bit of stubble.
maybe I should do
Mine
that.
wants me to shape my beard. She doesn't want me to trim it. She wants me to shape it. She says it's getting too wide, and I said, "Well, the more it grows, the heavier it gets. It'll start to lay down straight, you know." But
Yeah. Well, I guess we can make this a weekly segment of welcome to the segment we like to call making money off of Keith. So
Oh,
I've already talked about this on previous podcasts, but Keith, he ran live on an auction this piece that was made in France. It's called an asparagus tray. It's ceramic, and then it's got a nice little glaze over it. And I bought it for $9. It was $7 plus $2 combined shipping. So we'll call it $10 because you got to factor in the first initial shipping charge. Whatever. You guys don't
yeah,
care about numbers. Corey told me. Um,
yeah,
so I bought it for about $10. I listed it for 200, and then it was listed for I think 16 days, and it sold. So someone sent me an offer for $150, and I took it because
yeah,
that's amazing profit plus like $28 in shipping as well. But the name of the person that bought it from me, it was something along the lines of like French collection shop or something like that. So I saw other ones similar to it selling for 400 and 600, but I could tell they were a bit fancier. And then I found an exact match that sold for 189, so I put it up for 199. So I'm thinking they bought it for 150 and they're either going to drop ship it to someone who already bought it for like 350 or more, or they're going to put it in their own shop is what I think is
yeah.
going to happen with it.
yeah.
It was
I
yeah.
sold another thing, and by the way, I wanted that just because it was so unique, that
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
asparagus
yeah,
it
tray.
was
it was
super cool
sweet.
looking. I wanted
It
to
was
keep it,
very
but
cool, and I was
yeah,
like, man, I want this, but um, I was super broke that day, and I was like, I can't justify
I think there was a
spending any
glitch on the
money.
app that day. Changed. I think you couldn't swipe or something
Is that
too.
what it was?
I think
Yeah, that
yeah, that was my
it might have
first
been.
class treasure show. I think, and but actually,
It
I had a
might have.
buddy of mine. I bought a bunch of stuff from him over the years, and he just gave me like 6 totes of stuff, and that was it. There was all this porcelain, and knew that was a good piece. I looked it up. I'm like,
Yeah,
let me give some good stuff, good deals here, and I'm just glad you made some money on it.
yeah,
But I would have
Yeah,
kept it if my wife didn't think it was hideous. But I thought it was awesome.
yeah, it was dope.
I thought so too. I sold a Joe Cooley boxing was a cabinet card that I
Yeah,
bought
like
from you.
promotional cabinet card. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about this dude, and I never saw sold comps. And I know Keith told me after the fact that he's actually sold a few of them, but I never found sold comps, so I listed it for 150. Had no idea. I did some research, couldn't find much on Joe Cooley himself. I didn't dig real hard, but the company that made the card or the photo, I did find them, and they were based out of Cincinnati, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and somebody in Cincinnati bought it for $100. They sent me a best offer of 100, and I took it. But I think they maybe have ties with that company or something because of the location of the company when that photo was created and the fact that it was going back to Cincinnati. But hopefully, like a little museum or something, that would be cool. Somebody preserve it. But
Or if they
super
want, I was
cool.
gonna
And
say,
then
yeah.
and then
Okay.
Keith tells me he sells them for like $20.
Yeah. Well, I bought them up in Brimfield like 10 years ago. I bought a box of, it was all Fred Coley's. He was a pro boxer, and if you go to boxrec.com, that you can look him up, and he fought like Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, some big boxers. But all these like personal documents of his, and I had a stack of them, like 100 of them. And I sold them initially for like 30, $40. Sold them for 20. I dropped them to 15. I sold like tons and tons of them over the years. And then like got to the point where I never relisted it and forgot about them. And then you got more than I ever got for them. So that's good. Nice, good
Well,
for you.
one of my viewers, Miss Paula, she goes by Fat Grandma Finds.
Grandma.
That's an awesome name.
I love her name. She actually did some research on Mr. Cooley, and I want to read this comment and see if you knew any of this. This kind of was pretty cool. She said, "Because I love researching weird things, I found some info about Fred Cooley. Not much, but some. He was born in Philadelphia. He was a professional light heavyweight boxer from 1902 to 1910, had 53 bouts, lost one more fight than he won. He had a KO rate of 83%. And here's the crazy part. At the age of 53, he died of self-inflicted poo-poo. And in his diary, they found this entry. And in quote, she put, "I'm tired of it all. I'm going to take one last shot. If I miss, I've failed again." So he must have
That's
been
rough.
super down on himself and his career and his life, if that was his final inscription. And
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so
that's crazy. But I didn't find any of that whenever I was researching them. But
It's funny you
yeah,
say
that
that.
was crazy.
I remember I sold in the past. There was this really cool document where he like wrote every fight. I sold this years ago, but every fight that he was in, how much he made for that fight, and then at the end he wrote a notation, how much I have left over is easy, 0. Like, I guess I don't know if he had a drinking issue or, so I
Yeah.
could tell there was like some depression issues even with some of the documents that I had in the past. So
Yeah.
that's it. That's a sad end.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of boxing, have you guys ever seen those videos of Mike Tyson like warming up his neck and just like he lays his head on the rink and just cranks it back, dude? It's wild, man.
No, I hadn't
No, I
seen
never
that.
saw that.
Dude, he looks like an exorcist, man, because he just like he had such a thick neck and he wanted to strengthen it, and he would, oh, dude, he was cranking it back. I'm like, dude, how do you not snap your head off? Holy cow!
Like current, like the recent fight or back in the day?
No, back in the day when he was in
Okay.
his 20s and 30s and stuff.
Okay.
Dude, this is insane. He just, you guys should look it up.
I'll
It's
check it out.
wild.
Yeah, never heard of that.
Yeah. But yeah, him and Bo Jackson, they're like, yeah, if we touch weights, we get big. So the only thing we work out is our necks. Have you guys ever seen
Especially
that?
for a boxer, right?
Yeah. Well, there's this documentary on Bo Jackson, and he's like, yeah, when I was in high school, he played every sport. He's like, I had to take weight training as part of my football program. Like, I had to take that weight training class. And I just told the coach, hey, like, I'm too muscle bound. I just put it on too fast. So he would never do curls. He'd never do bench or squat. He would just work out his neck every class
Wow.
because everything would get too big.
Huh. I
Yeah.
never had that problem.
Clearly. I'm actually really pumped though. I've been going back to the gym and I got 3 plates on squat, 2 plates on bench. So
I got to start doing some
Nice.
squats because even with the belt on, my pants don't stay up anymore.
yeah,
Steady sagging. I'm losing everything back there.
Yeah.
dude,
That's
I get the worst compliment in the gym all the time because like a guy my frame really should not be benching over even sniffing 200 pounds, but I bench 225. And every time I do, guys come over and they're like, wow, man, like you do not look like you can bench 225. That's impressive. I'm like, thanks.
Thanks, I
Thanks
guess.
for saying I look small and weak, but take it as a compliment, I guess. I don't know.
That's funny.
funny.
Oh, man. But yeah, I'm hoping to get. I'd love to bench 3 plates one day, 315, but I'm a small
Dang.
guy, so we'll see if I ever get there. My dad could do that in high school.
I was
Oh, wow.
looking. I had some Bo Jackson Topps football rookie cards. I see the stack from the box I opened, but I don't see where I put the rookie cards. I was going to ask Keith. I was going to show them to you and say, "Hey, should I try to grade these or not?" Because I know they do really well if they're grade high, but I don't know enough of looking at a card to know if it's worth sending in or not. So
Yeah.
I'll just send you some pictures. I thought they
Yeah,
were right
absolutely.
here, but I don't see them.
It's ironic because I bought 440 Bo Jackson cards this morning at the flea market.
Oh,
Like
nice.
basically got them bundled into a deal, but figured I can sell them 10 at a time on First Class Treasure Show or whatnot, wherever I'm selling that day.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that's the box of cards I paid for from Corey and Teresa, who are sending you a free one, by the
It
way.
was super nice of them. Yeah, yeah.
That's dope. How often do you grade cards, Keith?
Not super often. I did more autograph cards. I'll get slabbed, authenticated. I think I've probably graded like 20 cards this year overall, only because they were like high dollar cards, and the one card, if it was never graded a 10 in its existence. It's like a Negro League card. Unfortunately, it came back an 8. It still did well,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't do a ton of that. My buddy does a little bit of it when we have cards together. Andy, my podcast partner, he'll get the stuff graded.
Yeah. I got a Mark McGuire rookie rated 8 from the Rad Picker on First Class Treasures. No one bid against me, so I got it for $2.
There you go.
Sold for 25 plus shipping the same day. So.
Oh wow,
That's
nice,
cool.
nice.
Yeah,
Love those
the
little
10s,
flips.
Yeah, dude. Like it's insane. Like those 8s will go for 25, a 9, 60 or 80, and then a 10 like 400, 500.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Super
Yeah.
exponential.
Well, that's what's crazy about the Bo Jackson, because after I pulled 2 of them out of the box, and I pulled the Boz and Bosworth and a few other decent players, but looking at the Jackson raw ungraded, it's only like $1.50 or something, but graded PSA 10s going for like $1,000, and I
Yeah.
was like, man, that's such a huge difference, because usually a raw card is still worth a pretty good amount if it's grading at a 10 and selling for $1,000. You should probably be able to get 50 to $100 for the raw version, but not with Bo Jackson for some reason. I don't know why. I just found that weird, strange.
Yeah, I don't think it's a pretty overproduced set, so I guess
Yeah.
only and the chances of getting 10 aren't great. So, but there are some cards where it's smarter to sell it raw, ungraded, to people hoping that it's going to grade a 10 compared to what it's worth as it sits raw. So probably not the
Gotcha.
case with the Bo Jackson, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my sister-in-law just got a pack of basketball cards at Target the other day, and it ended up having a Caitlin Clark cracked ice rookie card in it. I'm like,
Nice.
oh, that's
Nice.
worth $80, and she's like, really? And then my brother-in-law was like, dude, someone sold a Caitlin Clark 1 of 1 for like 40, 50 grand. I'm like, yeah, I actually know that guy. He's like, no, you don't.
Well,
I know,
speaking of
yeah.
that, I was in that video. I saw him. I was at the National. He came to my booth like 2 minutes after he pulled that card, and he showed me the card. I look like a total idiot in the video because he shows me the card, and I don't really know modern stuff great.
Uh-huh.
And he said a comment like, "Oh, think this was worth finding in the dollar box or something to that extent?" And I look at it, and I wasn't like super impressed in the video. So, and then it turns out it's a $30,000 card, and but it was super cool. You could tell he was excited. He was like trembling a little bit at that point when he
Yeah.
had found it. Yeah,
Well,
it was awesome.
I think it sold. I don't know. Maybe someone will correct us in the comments, but I think it sold for like 33 or 36,000 plus a 20% or 10% buyer's premium. So
Yeah, I want to say I
Yeah.
heard the buyer's premium was around $7,000.
yeah,
So
And I
on
think he had
top of that,
Yeah. I think he had negotiated. A lot of times these auction houses, if it's a special piece and they want it,
hmm
well, first you can negotiate no seller's premium, so you're not paying a commission, but you can also get some of the buyer premium. So I think that was what happened with him. He got the full selling price plus a little bit of the juice, they call it, a little bit of the buyer's premium too, which is nice. When it's something special, they'll do that for you.
I
Well,
know
did you guys?
ABC Matt sends a lot of stuff to Golden, and it's like Star Wars and cards like non-sports, and he's selling some cards for thousands. I mean, not 40, but $2,000-3,000 per card. Like, and he's doing it fairly regularly.
Well,
So
did you guys hear about the Michael Jordan jersey that sold?
No.
no.
No, dude, this is
Mm-mm.
insane. So you know the Last Dance
Yep.
documentary came out. So apparently Michael Jordan during the Last Dance championship run in 1996 and 97, he only wore one jersey for the whole playoffs. So they played 17 games and then they won the championship and he wore that same jersey every single game for 17 games and they just auctioned it off. What do you guys think it went for?
Oh man.
So 97,
Yeah, 96, 97.
425,000, half a mil almost.
What do you think,
Total.
Shane?
I was thinking probably over a million. I'd say
10.091 million dollars.
Oof. How far off was
So
I?
10,091,000 dollars.
That's
That
insane.
is insane, man.
these real collectors out there will spend the
Yeah.
money if they
Oh
want it
yeah.
bad enough. That's insane.
Yep.
I
I
couldn't
wonder if we can
imagine.
see who bought it.
I couldn't
Because
imagine
just
having
just
something
his
like that to sell.
so the very first jersey he ever wore in a Bulls game, his first game rookie worn Bulls jersey went for $4.2 million. But that last dance jersey, $10 million. Holy cow!
That's
Yeah,
insane.
I would have thought that would have been less. I guess because they weren't the whole playoffs, but I would have thought the
Mhm.
earlier stuff would have been more like his first championship. But
Mhm.
that's insane. Well, speaking of cards and sports, you hear the announcement yesterday on the No Banger Sports Card podcast that they're bringing breaks to a limited
Yep.
extent to did the cards, which is awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I talked to Rod. I might do a little breaking once it's not certain, but I picked up some stuff that I might break because I've been wanting to do that, and it's pressure doing it on Whatnot. It's pressure anywhere. Make sure you're showing the cards properly. But me and Shane have been ripping cards for a while now. We got it down
Yeah.
a little bit, so it'll be fun.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
and
see
those
that?
I see
Go ahead.
those so many scammers on Whatnot are
Yeah,
doing
it's
some
insane.
real shady stuff,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Pulling banger cards out, and then somehow that card all of a sudden, it was
yeah,
right on camera, everybody saw it, but now it's not there anymore, and he swapped it with something, and it's like, come on, dude, like that's the kind of crap. Like, if they're gonna start doing breaks over on Dibdick cards, I'm super happy for them, and I hope it works. I just hope they're able to keep that kind of stuff from happening, because these people
yeah,
that are getting caught on Whatnot are going to be looking for somewhere to go. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
and I,
That's
I
true.
know they're going to stay on top of it the best they can. And if it happens once, that person's going to be gone. But
Well,
Yeah,
someone was doing a Pokemon card show on Whatnot the other day, and you know how you used to be able to do buyer appreciation giveaways,
yeah,
but now you can't do that because I guess it's against federal law. So they're like cracking down. It's like you have auctions have to be truly random. So it has, anyone can enter regardless of purchasing.
me a giveaway.
That
Okay.
Yeah, that's in a few
Yeah,
states. I'm not sure if it's nationwide or whatever, but some Pokemon card sellers were doing it in one of those states where you can't do buyers. I mean, it was in one of the states where you still can do buyers only,
mm,
but some people found some sort of way through a software to where it can show whatnot that they have purchased in that show, but they hadn't yet. They're called form fillers. I'm sure there
hmm.
will be people in the audience that
oh
can tell
wow,
us a little bit more about it. So anyway, a form filler won a giveaway of a pack of sealed Pokemon cards that was worth like 80 or $100 sealed. And so the streamer took the pack, just right crumbled it up and destroyed it, and then said, "F you, here you go. We're gonna send it off to you like this." And so it's like
oh,
very
I
diffuse
did see
I didn't
that
controversy.
see that at
one.
all.
I
Yeah.
did see that. Yeah, it was all over Facebook.
Yeah, it's so like I'm not sure if I just briefly read the article. I'm not sure if I missed any details or said anything wrong, but yeah, pretty much they were just like, if you want to win stuff, you got to buy stuff from us. Sent it out. It's
That's
wild.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I
Yeah.
did see that. And so I'm a member of what's it called? It's a group on Facebook for non-sports cards. I think it's sports cards, non-sports cards nonsense or something like that.
Yeah,
And that was like being shared through there. People were talking about it.
yeah,
But yeah, I watched that video. That was crazy. I was like, dude.
yeah, man.
But I mean, yeah, he was super upset because somebody who didn't buy from him actually won that giveaway, and I guess using that route you said where they can do that form filler thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I
But
But
think
yeah, I
there's
guess I guess
yeah.
the federal government is like actually really cracking down on whatnot.
Huh.
Because I haven't sold on whatnot, but I know you still do. Can you still do buyer appreciation giveaways?
I mean, I haven't done one recently, but I feel like I did one like 2 months ago, and you could.
Yeah.
I haven't, but I haven't tried to do. I'll do giveaways, but not buyer appreciation.
So apparently Ohio has the craziest auction laws in the country. And
I've heard
then
that.
so I think Ohio you can't do it. I don't think you can do it in California and stuff either. But
Hmm.
yeah, which like it makes sense. I can see both sides because it's like, oh no, like I want to do giveaways for everyone. And then for the people that like, I'll do $15 to $40 giveaways for everyone. But then
Yeah.
like my loyal customers who I want to come back and I want to show appreciation to, like I'll run the $200 jersey as a giveaway and make sure that, only one of
Yeah.
those 18 people can get it. I
Yeah.
understand. I don't think that should be illegal. But then I also understand the other side of like having to have actual true like
Yeah.
randomness and
Yeah.
auctions. I mean, and
Yeah, I can
giveaways,
see both
stuff, so,
sides of that too.
Yeah.
yeah.
And speaking of giveaways, I know Kevin, the Commonwealth Picker, had talked about this on District, and I don't know if you guys have ever done this, and I did it a little bit, where instead of doing like a standard shipping, if I was selling, I gave away like patches for a bunch of my shows, and
Uh-huh.
I would just put them in an envelope, stamped envelope, printed up a label, not like a UPS label, but just a printed address label, and sent it out with a stamp and shipped it without tracking.
Yeah.
I did it a few times, and I actually told Dan and Demand, this is what Kevin said we could do. And I had a guy reach out to me and said I never got the giveaway, and I'm like, sorry man, I said this is what it's going to look like. Let me know if it doesn't come. And it was a very cordial conversation. He was talking about his upcoming shows, and then like 2 weeks later, I don't hear from him, and I get a complaint from District saying that they never received their giveaway, and the person turned very nasty, accusing me of like not sending the giveaway. But I actually had taken a picture of that item to send it to Dan to say, this is how I do these giveaways. So
Yeah.
I had the image of the actual envelope I sent the guy. So I'm done with the without tracking. I'll just ship with tracking. I mean,
Well, so they do have a site. Ivan was telling me about it. I forgot what it's called. Let me check So you can send a tracked envelope for like $1.40, which
Okay.
is great. Let's see if I have.
oh, that's good. Yeah, I know the
Yeah,
card
that's-
guys probably do a lot of that. Yeah.
That
So
would be awesome.
let's see my messages with Ivan.
Because that would even be great for the crookedspine.com because I give away bookmarks and things like that.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for a $1.40 envelope.
And to be honest, the way I did it would probably be fine. For 90, this guy just was difficult. I told him, look, I'll send you another patch. I don't know which one you got, but I'll send you a different one. And he just was pretty unpleasant in the response.
That's no different than eBay standard envelope.
Yeah.
Right? It's basically the same thing. So,
Yeah.
and I've yet to have anybody, I've sent a lot of cards out, eBay standard envelope. I've never had somebody say, I didn't get my card, man.
So I've sold like 8 J-Ride Flip stickers on First Class Treasures. And so 7 out of 8 of them I haven't heard anything, so I'm assuming they just arrived or whatever.
Yeah.
But Shirley, one of the coolest members of District, she bought one from me, and I sent it in the envelope. And she bought it like 3 weeks ago, and she was saying like 3 or 4 days ago that she hadn't gotten it yet. And she's like, "Oh, USPS is probably just slow." I'm like, "No, 3 weeks later. That's
Yeah.
So I'm gonna send another one out, and hopefully.
Is that Shirley and Bryce?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
familiar with
I
her.
love her show. She's awesome. She's just like,
Yeah.
I bought
Yeah.
this 20 years ago. My husband told me not to, but we did. And now he says I have to sell it. So
Yeah, they're entertaining.
yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Oh.
Keith,
But yeah.
what's that photo on your middle shelf back there? The kind
This
of
guy right here?
horizontal. Yeah.
That's
what is that?
that's actually a pro football team from my town where I live in Media, PA.
Okay.
They actually played the Pottsville Maroons, who were in the NFL. So it's a
So that's
in the collection.
super vintage.
Yeah, 1920s, 1925, I think. 26.
That's killer, man.
26.
Keith
yeah.
always has the coolest stuff.
Yeah, that's a piece in the collection, even though it's just sitting on a shelf. But yeah.
I
Well,
gotta
I
get me.
just-
You should show Keith that over your right shoulder there. Your new display there.
Oh, show Jake. Yeah,
Show
this guy.
Jake. Yeah. That
Yeah, I
thing.
gotta- It's a new company I'm working with, an affiliate link on my channel. They make like display cases for like wax boxes, or this is a frame of all vintage wax packs, like Garbage Pail Kids, and
Oh, that's dope.
figure it pops a little
Yeah.
color in the background.
Is it
So,
like acrylic or something? Or what?
Yeah, it's magnetic. So the front will pop off. You can just change out the packs.
Oh, that's cool.
Really, yeah, really cool.
kind of like a one touch almost. That's pretty dope, man. I'd love to get one, and I did check out the website. They're fairly priced.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
they're not.
they're a
Yeah,
lot cheaper than I thought they were going to be.
and high quality acrylic, and the and the you can't really see it, but these boxes back here, there's a Star Wars box that's in like a same kind of case. It's like UV protective, so I'm in the basement, so there's no light in here. But if you have it in a room, there's light. It's good to prevent the fading if it's in the room forever.
Yeah. I love how
Yeah.
you guys have, like your hobbies and passions and business behind you, and I just got 2 doors.
That's right.
Honestly,
I
like
know.
let's talk about the pros and cons of this real quick, because I think I'm really good at this job because I'm not a collector. So like I'll buy something, be like, oh, this is cool, but I don't care about things, and then I sell it. But
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
so that's like a huge pro. But then there's a huge con of like, okay, well, I don't know really anything about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I might walk past a Grail, But
Right.
then on the other side, if you are a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collector and you're a reseller, you're not going to sell it. You're going to spend
Yeah.
$40 on something worth $800, and you're just going to keep it instead of making your rent that month. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna come across that sealed 1987 Rocksteady, and instead of selling it for $200, it's gonna sit on your shelf,
Yeah, exactly.
and just look cool. And like, I'm a huge horror, sci-fi, and fantasy reader. Those are the three types of books I read.
Mhm.
So like, everybody's always asking me, like, the posters are cool, Shane, but why don't you have books as your background? Because that's, I love to promote the crookedspine.com, and I love selling books and stuff. And they're like, why don't you turn your desk around? And because that whole wall is books, I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I like the posters, they're cool. I don't really collect any of this stuff. I do have a book collection, but I actually started selling it. My last Whatnot show was me selling my Stephen King collection.
Oh wow.
Still have a lot, but I sold 53 books out of my collection, which
How many books
kind of
is
kind of hurt, but it
Stephen
was
King?
500 and something dollars.
How many books has Stephen King written?
Oh man, it goes up every year. Let's see.
How old is the guy?
He's got to be in his 70s by now.
Yeah. Because I'm just
Well,
like, I hear people like talking about Stephen King all the time. Like, how dude has he wrote thousands? Like, it has to be hundreds for sure.
65.
65 books?
65 novels and over 200 short stories, because he does
Wow.
a lot of books that are
Yeah.
a bunch, full of stories too. So
Wow, that's way lower than I thought, though. I thought for
well,
sure he had written, 2, 3, 400 books, but
I bet there's other authors who have a similar time
yeah,
frame, but his books are like 6 inches thick. Some like The Stand
yeah.
is like
The
that.
Stand and Under
Yeah.
the Dome was
Yeah.
another one.
Well,
Yeah.
Let's
some
see,
people have described like
he's 77.
77. Wow. Some people have described him as like he has a tamed destructive mind, because some books go like way deep into the sci-fi and murder and stuff like that, and he just stops way before that and just makes it entertaining and doesn't get dark.
Yeah. It's a good way to
I
put it. Yeah.
watched
I'm
an
not a reader.
interview. I watched an interview the other day with him, and it's an older interview, probably from the early 2000s. But he was talking about, I think it was Conan O'Brien, had
I love
asked
Conan.
him, is there a story that you started, but it never, made it to the light of day as far as, a published story? And he said, yeah. And he's talking about this couple at the airport, and the wife has to go to the restroom. So she goes in the restroom, and the guy's just waiting. And, he's talking about, we've all done it. We're standing there waiting on our wives, to come out of the bathroom or whatever. He said, next thing you know, another couple walks up, lady goes in. So now there's two of them standing there waiting, and these ladies aren't coming back. And before you know it, there's like a group of guys standing outside waiting on their ladies, and there's no peep. And one guy goes, you know what? Screw it. I'm going in. So he goes in, and all of a sudden there's tons of screaming and all this stuff, but then nobody comes out. And he's like, I kept building this story, and I could never figure out what the heck was going on in the bathroom, so I couldn't finish it. It's like his brain just went
That's
to a
funny.
fog. Like, he
Uh-huh.
could not figure out, why are all these people stuck in the bathroom? What's going on? He couldn't come up with anything, so he killed the story. But I was like, that's kind of weird and strange. I would have been interested in reading it.
It's kind of cool, like
Yeah.
hearing the process, because like guys that freestyle, like we always think, okay, I'm gonna rap about eBay. So you think about eBay and what rhymes with eBay. But what a lot of freestyle rappers do is instead of focusing on eBay, they think about what rhymes with eBay first, and then they say that because they're already thinking about eBay. So like, oh, I'm on the E train, and then somehow
Yeah.
get it back to eBay instead of saying, oh, I'm working at eBay, heading on. It's
Have
interesting.
you
It's interesting to
Yeah.
hear.
do you
Yeah.
watch Harry Mack?
Yeah, I watch Harry Mack. I mean, like
I
I
like
don't
him a
like
lot, man.
search him out, but I see him on shorts.
Yeah,
And
I
stuff.
watch him when I'm scrolling. I like to
Yeah,
watch his stuff. I don't think I'm subscribed to any of his stuff, but I do enjoy his
yeah,
videos.
his stuff
I
is
should
good.
subscribe. Just, I mean, not that me out of the millions he already has, it's not going to make that much a difference. But
Yeah,
I do enjoy his content. I should probably
dude, he's
subscribe. But
good at what he does, man.
oh, the dude's a genius, man. Keith, you don't look like you know who we're talking about.
I know. I have no idea. Is he a rapper? I don't even know. I have no idea who he is.
Yeah,
He's
Oh, he's a rapper.
some white freestyle. This white dude freestyle rapping on Omegle all the time, and he
yeah,
does go out into the streets and stuff sometimes too. But
Check it out. I'll check him
yeah.
out.
He'll just like find
he's
people on the street, like six or
very
seven
good.
people, and he'll be like, "Hey, will you guys give me like one word each? Like make it as random and difficult as you can." And then he'll just like rap for 6 minutes straight, and just like throw in those words and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
he uses them to inspire his freestyle. I think is the word he uses.
Yeah,
interesting.
But
Okay.
it's pretty cool. He's done videos with some of the famous rappers, stuff like that too. So he's entertaining. He's very very good at what he does. He's like a master at his craft. That's for sure.
Is he on the level of the Soda City Sips, like Soda City
Uh,
Flips, YouTube battle raps? You know,
not
the
quite, not quite.
rap battles.
no, dude, he's
that,
he's
that
he's
that
S
dude
tier, man. He's elite for sure.
I'll check him
that
out.
dude, I think, could probably battle rap anybody and walk away
Yeah.
champion. That he's
That's cool.
amazing.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I've sold. I think since we've been recording for the last hour and 11 minutes, sold two things. An Akira comic book #1 from 1988, first edition. That sold for how much? $20 plus shipping. I got it in a huge. I bought that off of eBay. I just type in estate lot every once in a while and scroll
Ah,
through,
nice.
and I
Oh, that's
found
cool.
yeah, they sold 80 comic books from just a collector, and in the description it says from a smoker's home. And so I'm like, oh, I'll take the gamble because honestly, like this lot should have gone for $400, $500, $600, but I got it for $70
Nice.
because I think people were too afraid. And it, like I got them home, and I was planning on ozoning machining them, but I'm like, wow, these don't really smell like smoke. so
Oh, nice.
so I just listed them. And the other one, it's a much more racy one. I think it was called like Sexy Panty or something like that. And it was only going for $35 plus shipping. And there were like 25 listed and only 6 sold. So I put mine up for $69.69. Sold the same day. you know?
Nice.
Oh wow.
I just sold it. I sold a matchbook that I listed this morning. It's like an old sporting goods matchbook, and I put it up for $40, and I got an offer of $20, which was a little too low for it. So I countered at 28. But then I don't have my ringer on because if I'm ever doing like a euthanasia or something at work, I don't want it to ching. I don't want my phone cha-chinging in my pocket, right? So I
Right.
never have my ringer on. I never get to hear the cha-ching ever because I don't want to forget to turn it off. But somebody came and bought it at full price after I sent out a counter already
Yeah.
to the other person. So
That's always the best.
it's always nice. Yeah, those are always the best.
That
sales.
happened to me last week with a golf club. Somebody sent an offer. I accepted. They waited too long to pay, and somebody came in and bought it
Yeah.
full price.
My 5th day
I-
reselling on eBay, I sold 11 items. And so I turned the ring. I've never had the ringer on since day 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know everyone else loves that cha-ching. I'd like to hear
Yeah.
it, but yeah.
I enjoy it. Keith, I have a matchbook, and I shouldn't say my wife has a matchbook that I want to sell, that she won't let me. It is a South Carolina Gamecocks 1948 football schedule
Okay.
from like a local bar that her grandmother, for some reason, kept since
Oh, wow. Oh, it's a little family
1948
piece.
when she got it. Yeah. So that's why she has it. Her grandma gave it to her, and she won't let me sell it. But I imagine it's got to be worth, a decent amount of money. Full matchbook, never been struck,
Yeah, I would think
1948.
so. I mean, that time period. I mean, I've sold a lot of matchbooks that era, like Ivy League schedules. I would say like guessing 20, $25, which
That's
is
what I
not.
figured.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be my guess. But I didn't, obviously without comping it out. Yeah.
Yeah. And not, South Carolina Gamecocks aren't one of the big, they're SEC and they're pretty popular down here, but they're not one of the big teams, so they don't have the following that say like a Ohio State or Michigan matchbook would, they'd probably be able to pull a few more bucks, but it's still a cool piece. And like I said, it's a local bar. I don't even know if the bar's around
Bless you.
anymore,
Thanks.
but it was pretty cool. Yeah, bless you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
good.
at
Speaking,
estate lots now.
yeah,
No,
I
it's
love.
good. Yeah.
I used to always source on eBay, and I stopped for. I don't need inventory much anymore. But one thing I would always do, and if you've ever done, you two guys have ever done this, but search like misspelled names
Mhm.
of like
I
things you're
used
looking for.
I used to do that when I collected Peyton Manning back in the day because I'm a big Colts fan. So
Yeah.
obviously he was like the hottest thing for the Colts in a long time, and I started collecting him back in '98. And I used to go in and spell his name wrong all the time, one N or spell it
Mhm.
PAY instead of PEY.
Yep.
And man, you could find some really good deals
They
because
they've
Absolutely.
they've kind of
people
fixed
did
that.
that.
You
Do
can
they?
Have
yeah.
they?
Yeah, so like I would buy a ton of cameras by typing in Canara instead of an
Oh
N
yeah,
instead of an M. But now when I type in Canara, it shows all the cameras too.
Okay, so it correct. It sort of auto corrects it for the
Yeah.
search. Okay,
Uh-huh.
makes sense. Yeah, I was doing it back in the day. I would search like pendant instead of pennant.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people call them
oh yeah.
pendants, and I would find some nice ones that are buy it
Well, it's
nows that.
interesting with Travis Matthew, the golf brand, the shirts
Yep.
and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's Matthew is only one T, but so many people just, I don't know, maybe from the Bible or whatever, they put in two T's every time they search Travis Matthew. So even though the brand is just one T, if you type in Travis M, Travis Matthew with two T's fills the search bar before
Oh wow.
one T. Because more people have spelt it wrong than spelt it right. And eBay's like, oh, we don't care. We're just going to do what's best for the customer. Just like my favorite thing on TikTok is people get so mad when I call them VCR players. Because like, it's not a VCR player, it's a VHS player. Oh, you're so stupid. It's like, that's just how people search for it. Like,
Yeah.
people search over and over again VCR player, VCR player. So if you type in VCR, eBay will automatically put player for you. Even if
Huh.
you type in like VHS player, the first thing that comes up. Like let's see if it does that right now. I'm gonna type in VHS player. Okay, so it does VHS player, and the third option is VCR player. But yeah, if you type in VCR, the first thing that pops up is player. The next is DVD combo. The next is player with remote. So like people clearly call them that, and eBay doesn't care. They just
Yeah.
whatever the customer is looking for, that's what we want to give them. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny that like if you type in Travis Matthew, yep, Travis Matthew with two T's polo is the first,
Huh.
not Travis Matthew with one T. How you're supposed to spell it.
That's wild. It's interesting.
Yep. So yeah, they've definitely fixed that, which is a
Okay.
good thing for the buyers, but it's a bad thing for us snipers. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Right.
you can still find deals there if you like. If you
oh,
just
for
happen,
sure.
if you search enough and you get the buy it nows that just pop up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the way to. But you got to put the time in if you're going to be doing that to find the great deals.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or those odd ending auctions too that end on like the middle of the Super Bowl or something, right? Like
Yep.
not many people are on eBay at 7 o'clock on a Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or Christmas morning at 7 a.m.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I at one point I was a third of my eBay store was just lots off of eBay. So I actually have back here on the ground. Not sure if you guys can see all those remotes.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, that I bought about 140 remotes for $100. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are worth listing individually. And then the other 100, I'm just going to sell back in a lot for probably exactly what I paid for it or more, which is it's awesome. I love that. And that actually, I didn't know this, but it came from a viewer, which was cool.
Oh,
Very
wow.
cool.
So yeah, he wrote me a nice little letter here. I won't show his name. He said he was cool with me sharing it on the podcast, but yeah, he's just like, I started my eBay journey 2 years ago. I looked to you for guidance and motivation. Your content on YouTube and TikTok has been invaluable. Like it's awesome to receive those, you know.
Sounds like
Yeah,
you're
that's
that
cool.
guy's Jason Kelsey, like me sending Jason Kelsey a
Yeah,
letter.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's really cool, you know.
that's
I
awesome.
love those little moments in life, you know, because like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, Shane, you have your two like better view videos recently because you were a little bit negative, and so like people just love to gleam onto the negative,
Yeah.
and it's really awesome to get these like, hey, you know, because like I get kids telling me to off myself every day in my Facebook and Instagram DMs, and people telling me I'm a terrible person like every hour of the day. So it's cool to like get, hey, you motivated me.
I got a message on District one time that said I was this particular lady's favorite District seller, and I thought
Oh
that was
wow,
awesome. You
that's
know?
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a similar one from not a lady on District, but a guy who on Instagram messaged me and said he bought a baseball in an estate sale, and he said he bought it from watching my videos because I always talk about, or I've talked about a lot, like the
The red
early
and
red and
blue.
blue stitch. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So he picked up a ball in the estate sale for like $3 just because it was a red and blue ball and knew it was a 30s ball or before, and got it home and studied it. There's a Babe Ruth autograph on it.
No way.
Already got it
Wow.
authenticated. So yeah, the guy was very thankful, thanking me for like teaching him. So that's pretty
That's
cool.
insane. A
Yeah,
Babe
Yeah.
Ruth, like, wow, that is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I need to
Did
find one of those.
yeah, yeah, me too.
I was also reading on I think it was Threads of all places that I spend about 2 minutes a month in. For some reason I was just in Threads. And I guess some girl heard that Babe Ruth, oh, everything Babe Ruth is worth a ton of money.
Oh,
So someone convinced her to buy just a you know the baseball the MLB Prism set. They just have like a base Babe Ruth card. They sold
Yeah.
her that, and she was thinking it was worth like $10,000. So she paid 8 grand for it. It's
Oh
worth like
wow.
7 cents on a good day, you
oh
know,
my God.
because they printed like 40 million of them.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny. Yeah, it's like I don't know. When I was early in my eBay career and stuff, I would notice like a brand of something, and then you think to yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna look for this brand because this brand sells well." And then you learn quickly in a lot of categories. It's like, oh no, it's just specific items within brands that sell well. Just because it's a Dyson doesn't mean it's worth a ton of money. Just because it's even Bose, it's one of the best reselling companies out there. Best
Yeah.
company that resellers can find out there. There's still like those Bose older iPhone and iPod jack speakers, those suck. Like, don't buy those. But almost everything else, Bose, definitely buy it.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
Yeah,
yeah.
recently found a pair of Bose speakers. They're little small speakers, but they
yeah. Are
cost
they
like
the computer
40.
companion ones?
They might
Companion.
be.
Yeah.
Um I forget what they call the acoustic.
Acoustimass.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. But they're like $40 speakers. They were, I think I paid $5 for them, $3, something like that, at one of the little mom and pop thrift stores here in town.
Nice. Are
Very
your
cool.
mom and pops better priced than Goodwill or worse?
Usually, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially there's this one called Mission Lexington. It's like a church based one. Um, they have pretty like their shoes are only $3. And I've found some like Allen Edmonds and some really nice men's dress shoes in there for $3. Their books are 10 cents a piece, you know, or Goodwill's $1 for a paperback, $2 for a hardcover. They're 10 cents no matter what. In there. But yeah, everything I found. One of the coolest things I ever found was a full-on electronic drum kit. $35 worked. Everything worked great, and I bought that. Couldn't find. I didn't want to ship it, so I put it on local marketplace, and ended up trading for what might have been stolen goods. I don't know. Never could confirm, but it was like a brand new mini split AC unit heater, some smart faucets that were like $400 faucets
Mhm.
and things. I got like I don't know, it's like $2,500 worth of stuff for this $35 purchase, and I made a killing. And
That's
that
awesome.
that dude and his kids play drums every day together now, so worked out for everybody.
My third best eBay sale ever was a Moen faucet from 1980. It was like all chrome and stuff, sold for $1,400.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, just for one Moen. It was like a tub faucet. It was insane.
That's
like,
killer.
wow.
Yeah, the ones I had were smart. You could, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, turn the water. You just talk to it. Turn the water up hotter, and it would do
Mm-hmm.
it. And I thought that was amazing because I'm used to this and turn knobs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, those went for. I think I had two of them, and I want to say it was like $350 to $400 a piece for those. And then I sold the mini split locally for 1,000 or something. Um, but yeah, I made a killing off of that little $35 mom and pop thrift store buy.
Yeah.
Speaking of clothes selling, I think I talked a little bit about it, but I set up at a vintage clothing show in Philadelphia or in the Philly suburbs. Not this past weekend, the weekend before. No, I'm sorry, it was this past weekend. Time has stood still this week, but
Jumbles.
yeah. But if you ever hit like clothing shows in your area, I think you guys would kill it there in terms of like sourcing for some like modern clothing. If there are shows in your neck of the woods, is there anything like that?
Yeah,
I
downtown
don't.
Salt Lake, there's this place, there's this flea market called Urban Flea Market. And I'm sure there's like, so I used to sell at it when I started a company with a guy like 7 or 8 years ago called Adventure Tees. Just sold t-shirts for hiking and stuff. And I sold at that event and it was pretty good. But now that I live here, it's about to start. It's probably going on this weekend because it's finally warm enough because it's in an outdoor mall
Okay.
right by the Delta Center. Um, so yeah, I'll probably have to hit that up. I'm sure they have a ton of really good
Yeah.
cameras and clothes and things like that.
I need to look around my area for see if there's stuff like that. But Jake, it's funny you mentioned Adventure Tees. My very first entrepreneurial like adventure
Uh-huh.
I ever had was a t-shirt company called Profanities, and it was just like
There you go.
extreme vulgar, like back in the like early 2000s to like 2009. Like I don't know why people were buying that stuff up left and right, and I was getting women's like underwear and stuff made and all this craziness. And dude, I
That's
was
fine.
I was doing pretty well, but that kind of died super fast. Like
Yeah.
You have any
yeah, and it was
dead
the
stock tees in the house there? Any dead
no, not
stock
anymore.
profanities? No.
No,
Okay.
I sold all that stuff many years ago. But yeah, like I had a little storage unit I was running it out of, and I had a local print shop that was doing everything for me. I'd paid somebody to create the designs and all this stuff, and yeah, Profanities. This is
Yeah,
no
that's cool.
longer that name's available if anybody needs it now.
For a fee.
Our company was going pretty well, and then a golf company reached out to us and said, "Hey, we just want to buy the name Adventure Tees," and then they started putting the word adventure on some golf tees. So,
Oh wow.
so yeah, we sold that for them.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Very cool.
pretty dope.
Yeah, but you would like this. You both would like the show because a lot of these dealers, I didn't get a chance to shop it much, but they'll just put a mound of clothes in the center of their booth. Everything $5, and
Mm-hmm.
like I pulled out before like a 1930s like Woolrich hunting jacket for five
Oh
bucks.
wow.
I was sold that for $120 in my shop. So but there's like modern stuff mixed in. It would be if you ever find those, they're called vintage clothing shows, but it's not all vintage. It'd definitely be worth hitting up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. I'm
cool.
definitely excited to fly out to Philadelphia one day and do some
Yeah,
sourcing and stuff out there for sure.
yeah. Flea markets are great in this area, so you'd love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get up there bad and pick with Keith. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we've been going for just under an hour and a half. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
No,
I don't
I think
think
we
so.
covered a lot today. Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a good show. Talked about how I
Anthony
sold fake.
Palika, I will reach out to you and get this bag to you, my friend.
Comments on this one should be fun because I talked about selling fake pit vipers in the first
oh
3 minutes of the
yeah.
podcast. So
That's true.
Oh yeah,
That'll get some
and
attention.
people will be all
yeah,
over that for sure.
We have to work that into the thumbnail, maybe. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. Well,
Uh,
gentlemen, yeah, sounds like Keith is going to be selling every day or every other day live selling. So
yeah, I'll be grinding next week for sure. Get some time, several days off, so I'll be on First Class Treasures, Dibbed at Cars, Dibbed at Threads, Dibbed it. Check me out on Vintage Sport Flips on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm doing a video where I bought a box of treasures from Keith that I'm going to be opening on JRide Picks. So everyone go subscribe to JRide Picks if you haven't yet. That
Yeah.
should be a
yeah.
fun box.
I'm looking forward to that video myself.
Yeah, some good stuff.
I put some cool historical stuff in there, so it's worth a watch. I think you'll like it, Shane. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get up with you and do that. Once things get moving again, like if things keep going as well as they have this past 7 days, man, you like I'll be hitting you up a lot sooner
Yeah,
than I
for sure,
expect.
man.
But yeah, I'm interested just because I know you know the kind of things I'm into,
Yeah,
just because you've seen what I've bought from you, and I I I know for a fact I'll be thrilled with whatever it is you send. So I'm looking
yeah,
forward to
absolutely,
doing
man.
it, and
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
super excited to check out Jake's video. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
Well, good stuff, guys. Yeah, we appreciate you guys stopping by the island, and we'll see you guys next week.
yep,
Thanks, guys.
y'all have a good one.
Peace. See you.